Minnesota Vikings franchise tag Anthony Harris. And to adequately paint a picture of how I'm feeling right now, I want to start with this. I grew up in the Baptist church. This is not a political podcast or religious podcast. I'm just explaining the experience that I went through to lead up to this joyous occasion. Grew up in the Baptist church as black folks in the Christian community. That's just what we do. Sundays would be service, Wednesdays, Bible study, Fridays would be Friday night prayer, and then a couple of other stuff will get mixed up in between every other week. Okay, fine. And on Sunday service, during the choir session, during the gospel where they sing songs, 95% of the songs that they would sing incorporated some version of, yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did. Just to talk about how good you feel to be supported by God or whatever, whoever it is that you follow if you choose to do that. And so the rare occasions where a girl out of my league would say, yes, I will go out with you, I would go up into Sunday service. Yes, he did. Oh, and just tears of joy would fall down my face. And that leads me to this because, bro, during that combine where Mike Zimmer got out there and said, well, the safety position, we'd like to bring back Anthony Harris, but it's probably not going to happen. We can't commit that sort of money. I was absolutely depressed when I saw that. And if you're Rick Spielman, are you not at some point saying to Mike Zimmer, will you be quiet when it comes to contracts and salaries and all that stuff? Please just be quiet. Let me do my job, because I was just saying, wow, Anthony Harris, he is gone. We're looking at maybe Antoine Winfield Jr. in the draft. Maybe we're looking at Andrew Sendejo. I don't know. Jaron Curse, I thought he maybe would come back, but he made it clear on Twitter, I don't want to come back. So I just said, man, this absolutely sucks. Until the news came out, Tom Pelissero said that the Minnesota Vikings, they are franchise tagging Anthony Harris. This is huge, huge fucking news, because the Vikings, they need this dude because he is not only incredibly smart, he is insanely athletic, and I compare him to this one dude and take away who he is as a person off the field, because there's no doubt this is one of the biggest pieces of shits that this franchise has ever had on their team. Darren Sharper. Take aside who he is off the field, who he was on the field. Man, the amount of times where a cornerback would get burnt, but oh man, we're about to give up a huge touchdown, and then boop, out of nowhere, Darren Sharper, he makes the play. Anthony Harris is that same type of dude, that same type of cat, because his athleticism, he can high point the ball. The man can leap for days. He's fast. He can stop the run. I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Harris, if he decided to go to a 24-hour fitness or basketball gym and record himself, do a video recording of himself throwing off the backboard alley-oop windmill dunk. I wouldn't be surprised if he could do that, because he's an incredible, incredible player. So now that you're at least bringing him back for at least another year, maybe it gives you time to work out a contract extension, and going back to the Kirk Cousins deal, that $10 million that frees up in cap space this year helps out with Anthony Harris getting franchise tag. So all that said, I am absolutely ecstatic about this. You have Harrison Smith and Anthony Harris in the safety position in the backfield, because with the cornerback position group that we have, it's still shaky. We don't know what we have right now. Chris Boyd, he's still on the up and up. We don't know what we're going to have with him. Holton Hill. I think I saw somewhere in the CBA that players, they won't get penalized for smoking weed or testing positive for THC. So I know he's got to be like, oh, hell yeah, bro. Play your favorite Snoop Dogg song. And then who else? We got Mike Hughes, who I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Coming off the ACL tear the year prior, last year was not great, but still there's a lot of question marks, more questions than answers when it comes to Mike Hughes. And then the other cornerback that you have, really, as far as a possible starting cornerback, I'm assuming that they're going to draft a cornerback in the first round, maybe Trayvon Diggs, hopefully. So if they do that, that's 4 cornerbacks that you have. Is still a lot more questions than answers. But the only thing that I would be a little bit hesitant on is if the Vikings are placing the tag on Anthony Harris to possibly make a trade still. So if it depends on what the Vikings, how they view themselves. If you consider yourselves championship contenders still this year, then you keep Anthony Harris. If you're trying to possibly plan for a rebuild and you're not able to come up with a new deal, a new long-term contract extension with Anthony Harris, then maybe you trade him. Depending on the value that you get back for him, maybe I would be happy about it. But either way, the Vikings have Anthony Harris at least for one more year, damn it. I'm happy about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. We do this during the off season once a week, but if anything else happens, we'll post a video then. Realistic Randy, Mediocre Best Sports Podcast. Check me out on Twitter at realistic_Randy, Facebook at Realistic Randy. We'll see you then.